Welcome back to Cosmic Nebula. So in today's video, I wanted to react to the content creator by the name of Belzer Fitness. And if you don't know, this man is an Instagrammer who claims to be a body positive fitness coach, LGBT+, eating disorder recovery, travel, etc., etc., etc. And this man says that you can be, listen to this, fit and also overweight, and you can also be a weight loss exercise coach and be fat. And to that I say, bull fucking shit. No, you cannot. You can choose to become one. Nobody can stop you from getting the education to become a trainer. Nobody can stop you from making an Instagram page, a TikTok page, a Facebook page, and advertising yourself as a coach. Nobody can stop you from doing any of those things. But the reality is, a fitness coach has to have a body that is in shape in order to be a fitness coach. A person who works in alcohol recovery centers has to be a person who has recovered from their alcohol addiction. We all understand how that works. I'm really getting sick and tired of all of these people who think that everything in the world is flexible. Like everybody should just be included in everything all the time. There's no such thing as fit. It has no standard because everybody can't be included in it, so it's not fair. So because everybody can't be included in it, they try to change the definition of what things mean. Do I think a person can be overweight and technically quite muscular and quite strong and surprisingly quite fit? Yes, I do. There's a content creator by the name of, I think, Fit Beth, and even though she is overweight, she shows herself performing a lot of really crazy movements and a lot of really crazy lifting exercises, running, CrossFit, etc., etc. So the reality is she is fit. That's true. She is more fit than the average sedentary person, regardless of weight. However, the reality is she still has an eating disorder, and that is unhealthy, and it is a problem. And it's not something that we should ignore. And so I feel the same way about this Belzer. So as we can see, this man is, I would say, a class 1 obese. And I would not say he's overweight. He is definitely in the obese range because his body fat percentage compared to his height looks quite high. But this man is basically trying to convince the internet that you can be a successful coach for other fat people while being fat yourself. And in my opinion, trainers' bodies is their resume. So you have to have a nice body yourself first before you can train other people to lose weight and become healthy themselves. I go to the gym now. I said this in my coming back video. I go to the gym now 7 days a week, and I've been going to the gym now almost a year and a half. I have trainers that work at my gym, and I would not get training from any of the trainers that don't look like they work out themselves. So the majority of the trainers at my gym look like they work out. A few of them have been bodybuilders, but there are a couple of them who are technically not fat or overweight at all, but they also don't look like they go to the gym or exercise particularly well, if that makes sense. But this man is basically trying to convince us that exercise is the same for everybody regardless of size, and that's not true, right? You can't just do whatever you want. Fitness is something that fat people can also participate in, which I agree with. I agree with that point. Even if you are fat, you should go to the gym. You should go to the gym. It is still good for you. However, having an eating disorder is bad. It is still unhealthy. And you cannot out-exercise the reality of being obese, if that makes sense. But I want y'all to look at some of this man's videos, because what I noticed going through this man's page is that he doesn't actually show any videos of him doing something. But in this first video here, I want you to see what he used to look like. So apparently at some point, this man did lose weight, as you can see here. He lost weight, and in this video, he is quote unquote a healthy BMI, but you can also see in this video, he has no musculature whatsoever, which in my opinion is not a bad thing, because I've been going to the gym for a year and a half now, and building muscle is really hard. It's really hard and it takes a really long time. which is why you know for a fact that everybody on the internet that you see with a lot of these big muscles, they are on steroids. Because I saw a video recently where this girl, she went from morbidly obese to stacked. I'm talking stacked, built like a fucking pit bull dog in like a year and a half. And I'm talking about a woman with huge trap muscles, huge shoulders in a year and a half. There's no way that that can be done naturally in the gym. But you can see here, this man, he used to be slim. He lost 100 pounds, but watch this. Watch it. Yeah, he gained the weight back. He gained a lot of the weight back. And then he lost it again. And then watch this. He gained some of the weight back again. And remember, he said he is eating disorder recovery coach, guys. He's an eating disorder recovery coach. I wonder how many alcohol recovery coaches occasionally drink and then go back to recovery, and then drink and then go back to recovery. I understand that people can start using their drug of choice again, but I think that when you are on the yo-yo of going back and forth between using and getting sober again, using and getting sober again, I think that you are not in a place where you can call yourself an expert at anything. And so as you can see now, this man gained the weight back, and he basically was just like, fuck it. He's like, fuck it. I'm gonna be a fat coach. He just decided he's gonna be a fat coach. And so that's what he does. So he has this video here of him running, and it says, reminder that you can be a runner at any size. I just ran 7 miles because insecure men in my comments think I'm out of shape. He is out of shape. He is out of shape. You cannot have this much body fat, and you cannot work out as much as he claims to work out and also be in shape, because the amount of fat you have on your body also applies to in shape to some degree. Yes, you can be fat and you can be strong. Yes, you can be fat and you can have a very strong cardiovascular system. You can. But the reality is, having that much excess fat on your body lowers your fitness level overall. So you can see he said he ran 6.82 miles, which is quite far. But he didn't put here how long it took him to do that. And I would imagine he spent a lot of time walking, because he is quite fat, and running while fat is quite hard. So he didn't neglect to put the time. You can see he cropped this image. He just decided not to put it up there. But a lot of fat people, I'm going to agree, a lot of fat people like this kind of stuff. They like this kind of stuff. They don't really want to change their diet, and they want to kind of pretend to exercise occasionally and kind of record themselves and say they do it and make it okay that they never get over the fact that they overeat. And as a person who developed kidney disease as a result of being morbidly obese, I will never agree with that. That is the most ridiculous shit I have heard today. So let's watch another video. This video, you can see that he is doing some kind of pull-up, or he's doing some kind of leg swings where he pulls his legs up and kicks them up. Yeah. When he does this, as you can see, as he does this, he's not even doing it well. And so he thinks in his mind that this is doing something, or this is proving something to other people that, you know, he's just really fit, guys. Even though he's fat, he's really fit. But when you see average weight person with good musculature do the exact same movement, yeah, they do it effortlessly. So it's not the fact that he has this excess body fat on him, because the real reality is that if he had good developed muscles underneath all that fat, he would be able to perform a lot of these actions quite easily. But you can see that, yeah, he's not doing a good job of this action at all. He should be able to kick his legs up a lot higher if he had the core strength, which he doesn't. But he acts like he's a gym bro, and he goes to the gym often. And as a person that's been going to the gym for a year and a half, yeah, I don't believe him. I don't believe him at all. I don't believe him. He goes to the gym for a short amount of time. He records a few clips. He maybe does a few classes, and then he takes his fat ass home. There's no way that this man seriously goes to the gym and he cannot perform these types of actions in spite of the fact that he is technically obese. Muscle development has nothing to do with being obese. Nothing to do with it. Muscle control has nothing to do with being overweight. But I want y'all to see another video. Somebody commented, you literally cannot be fat and fit and healthy. And then it says, don't mind me being fat, fit, and healthy. And you can see him balancing on this ball, swinging his leg again. So he's balancing on this ball and holding his foot back and leaning forward. And this is proof that this man is fat, but he is fit and he is also healthy. And you see he only did it for a second, right? So Roy Belzer only did this for a good 10 seconds and then he immediately got down. And so when you see this kind of clip to a person that's ignorant of anything, ignorant of going to the gym, they can think like, oh, you can be fat and you can also be fit because look at him. He managed to balance on that, but we don't know how many times he recorded this video. We don't know how many times he recorded this video. I could probably do this if I recorded it 100 times. I'm not good at balancing on these types of things. I'm not good at holding my foot behind my head or leaning forward, but I would imagine if I did it over and over again until I got the clip, I could probably pull it off. But he thinks that this is an indication of fitness, and it's not, because he has not actually shown videos of him actually doing any kind of real exercise, any kind of real weightlifting, any kind of real cardio. She shows these weird clips of him performing some weird exercise for a few seconds, and then it stops. So here's another, again, exercise, quote unquote exercise, of him basically showing that he can stretch and hold a stretch for a while. And it says, I sang at my best friend's funeral while looking her mother in the eye. I think I can handle you disapproving of me hosting wellness retreats. I don't disapprove of him hosting wellness retreats. I think he can do whatever he wants, and I think people can sign up for it. But the reality is, again, him doing this isn't proving anything. And I think that he thinks it's proving something. But of all the videos I've seen on this man's page, I've not seen one video of him actually doing any actual exercise. You see a lot of bending down, stretching, holding up a weight here or there, but you don't see him actually exercising, which means he has no business being anybody's fitness coach. And he sure as hell has no business being somebody who supposedly is in ED recovery, because this is not recovery. As I said in another video I made, you cannot be in ED recovery and not be losing weight. Technically, you can be fat, right? Because you have to be fat for some period of time as you lose weight. That's just a reality of losing weight. And then eventually you get into a normal BMI and you are no longer fat and you can maintain it. But you cannot be recovered and just maintaining an overweight body. You can't do it. And I'm sick and tired of people on the internet thinking that all logic and all reason is just thrown out the window because they have feelings and reality doesn't agree with their feelings. That's bullshit. And again, we have another exercise here, guys. It says, my biggest flex as a trainer is that my clients live more independently as they grow older regardless of their size. How many fat people have you seen in the nursing home? If you take a video of a nursing home, people interviewing people in a nursing home, how many times have you seen people that were in obese BMI? I'll wait. How many 70, 80, 90, 100-year-olds do you see that are obese? They don't exist because they're all dead, right? So in this video, you can see this man doing another stretch. Again, a lot of people can do this, but this isn't an indication of fitness. He thinks really that it is. He thinks that him being able to do this is really showing us. It's showing us that fat people can indeed be fat and fit. But doing this is not helping his muscles particularly. Surely it's helping his joints. This is just stretching exercise. It's not helping his muscles. It's also not helping his bone density. It's not helping his heart. It's not cardio. It's not lifting. It's not really anything outside of stretching. But he records these little types of videos over and over again. As again, some kind of proof that he's fit, guys. And anybody who says otherwise is just wrong. So here's another video of him at his wellness retreat, his quote-unquote wellness retreat. And you can see him here in a pose holding up a dumbbell. And as a man, this is like a 5-pound dumbbell. This is something that would not be particularly heavy to a woman. This dumbbell wouldn't be heavy to a woman, but you see two grown adult morbidly obese men doing this bullshit exercise holding a 5-pound dumbbell. But let's see what the exercise is. Stretching down, holding the dumbbell up, stretching our legs and turning. We're standing up with the dumbbell still up. Okay, and is that it? That's it. So he, as you can see, he is showing us, guys, that he is just really fit. He's really fit. He's really in shape. Fat people can do the same things that thin people can do. Here's another video of him again in a fitness class. Reminder that fitness can simply be moving joyfully. You'll find more success in any journey if you enjoy the process. And I agree with that, but again, this is not fitness. Doing this, I would imagine if you did it continuously, could probably help, but doing this in and of itself is not really helping you as a fat person. It's really not. And the more fitness content that I consume, One thing that I would say that I agree with after going to the gym for over a year now is that you really need to stick to the fucking basics. The basics are eating in a deficit, eating high protein, eating little to no processed food, lifting upper body and lower body splits at least 5 days a week, and doing some form of cardio. That's it. You don't need to swing from these fucking trapeze bars. You don't need to kick while holding onto a bar. You don't need to do any of this fancy, unnecessary bullshit that you see on Instagram. And when I started doing fitness, I just stuck to the basics. And I will admit that at first I really thought that there was going to be no difference, no impact. I thought it was going to be maybe a waste of time, but I just committed to, you know what? Let's do it anyway, even if it fails. Let's go past the point of me thinking this makes any sense and see what happens. And now we are a year and 3 months later, and I will say that going to the gym is probably one of the best things that I decided to do. I went to the gym this morning on Saturday, which is a lifting rest day, and I ran on the treadmill for 20 minutes, and I am 89 fucking kilograms heavy, y'all. I'm 89 fucking kilograms heavy, and I was on the treadmill for 45 minutes. I ran one 10-minute interval. I rested 5 minutes. I ran another 5 minutes. I rested 5 more minutes, and then I ran one more 5-minute interval, for a total of 20 minutes spent running and then 25 minutes spent walking. And it amazes me that I ran today for 20 minutes combined at 89 kilograms. And when I tell you that I remember running, I remember what it felt like to be out of shape, and I remember running. The fact that I've gone to the gym now for a year has made it so that my 89 kilogram ass can run at a pace of 7.5 kilometers an hour for 10 minutes. I could probably run further. The longest I've run now is, I think, 13-minute interval. But I will be honest, it amazed me. And I think that this kind of person, this Roy dude, I think that he is doing a lot of fat people a fucking big ass disservice. Because what he is doing is, he is encouraging people to be below average and do below average fucking things like these bullshit stretching exercises, these fucking wall stands. I don't know what this shit is. He's doing these bullshit wall stands when going to the gym and lifting weights is good for not only your muscles, but as I said, it's good for your fucking bone density, which is something you need if you want to get older and not be fucking rickety. It's good for your joints. It's good for your overall body strength, especially shit like squats. But this dude is just like, yeah, like putting your feet up on a wall like this is like, it's like doing something. It's fitness. And it's really not. This is not fitness. This is not fitness. This is not exercise. We could maybe say this had some associated with stuff like gymnastics, but for a person that's fucking overweight and that needs to lose weight and get in shape, yeah, don't do this. You don't need to follow this kind of person's fucking advice. And I'm sick of the fact that this stuff is just allowed to be all over the internet, because a lot of people are stupid. A lot of fat people, they look for influencers, quote unquote influencers, who tell them what they want to hear. And people who are not serious about losing weight because they don't think that is dangerous, they will seek out somebody like this Roy dude, and they will follow his bullshit exercises, and they will pretend like doing this shit is doing something to really help their body. Yeah, yoga is nice. I'm not going to say yoga is negative. I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it regardless of how much you weigh. But if you are morbidly obese, yeah, doing this kind of yoga is not helping your heart. Doing this kind of yoga is not helping to lower your body fat. It's not helping to remove visceral fat. It's not helping to improve your overall fucking strength. It's not helping to improve your bone density. It can help with flexibility. Maybe it can help with mental clarity, right? It has some benefit. I'm not going to say it has zero benefit, but I'm saying is that I feel like people would rather spend all of their time doing everything fucking else but cardio and lifting. They would rather do everything else. And I said in another video, even if you didn't have your diet perfectly, and even if your diet is not in order yet, in my opinion, going to the gym in spite of that will still be beneficial to your overall health. Me running at 89 kilograms on the treadmill is still good for my heart, even though I am 89 kilograms. My fucking heart was beating today at 160, which I think is like zone 4 or 5. And even though my heart is beating that fast, y'all, listen to this. It doesn't feel like it's beating that fast to me. And it doesn't feel like that to me because my muscles, which are being used to run, because they are in sufficient enough shape and sufficiently able to endure the movement, the constant movement of running, my muscles don't get tired. So my heart beating causes me to sweat, but it doesn't cause me to get any cramps. It doesn't cause any abdominal cramps. It doesn't cause any pain. It doesn't cause my muscles to feel exhausted very quickly. And so I am able to still fucking run for at most 12 minutes continuously at 89 pounds. And I have been running, y'all, for 2 whole fucking months. And I've had no preparation before. I got on the treadmill the first time and I thought, back to, when I was younger and back when I was more out of shape before I'd ever took the gym seriously. And when I tell you, I was so fucking surprised at like myself running. Like I tried to run for like 1 minute and I'm just like, why does this feel easier than I thought it would feel? And then I got to 2 minutes and I'm like, shouldn't I be stopping at this point? Shouldn't I be winded? Shouldn't I have a cramp in my damn abdomen at this point? Shouldn't I be about to die running on this treadmill? No. And that's all due to fucking weightlifting. So, this dude, he's a clown. That's it. He's a clown. He wants to be able to eat whatever he wants and drink whatever he wants. And he wants to still be allowed to be included in the group of people that are called fit. It's like a person who has never trained for the Olympics at all, wanting to still be called an Olympian. People are not allowed to be divided on any terms whatsoever these days. Nobody is allowed to be excluded from anything. And I don't like people like this, because out of all these videos that this man makes, not one of them shows him actually doing any exercise. How is it possible that he has all these videos and he's not doing any exercise in all of them? He is not raising his heart rate at all in all of them. He is not improving his physical body at all in any of them. He's doing some kind of stretching constantly, and then he's telling people, you know what? Don't worry about being fat. It's not a problem. I wonder if any of these people are going to take responsibility for the diseases that every single person will develop. If you are overweight, you will develop some disease. I was overweight. I almost weighed 300 pounds, and now I have stage 3 kidney failure. And at the time, I thought, you know what? I'm fat. I'm not that fat. I'm unhealthy. I'm not that unhealthy. I'll lose weight later. I still have time. It's not that bad. And I remember when I was doing my blood work like every year or two, and my blood work was normal. But guess what? One day that shit came back and it wasn't normal. So I want people to really understand that. Yeah, these people like Roy Belzer. Yeah, you can take his advice. You can follow him. You can trust him. You can believe him. You can do bullshit exercises. You can do whatever you want because it's your life. But I want people to understand something. If you are fat, you will develop some kind of illness as a result of your obesity, regardless of whether or not you like it, right? And no type of bullshit, quote unquote, physical activity or belief that fat people can be fit is going to save you from that reality. It's really not. But I'm just, at this point, I'm sick of social media. I'm sick of this society that lets people think that everybody should be inclusive. And I think that people say stuff like, we need to bring back bullying. And at this point, they're not wrong. People like this didn't used to exist. You couldn't say shit like this in the 80s and the 90s. You would be laughed out of the fucking room. You couldn't be a morbidly obese gym trainer in the fucking 70s and 80s. You couldn't do that. But we live in a time now where just standards for everything is just not allowed to exist at all. And it's not allowed to exist because of people's feelings. But I want people to understand something. Reality really does not care about your feelings, and mortality doesn't care about your feelings either. So if you are somebody who follows this person, he only has 2,900 followers, thankfully. But in my experience, people are extremely influenceable on the internet. And even though this man doesn't have a huge following, the fact that he is trying to build a brand around the idea that you can be fat and also healthy, fat and also fit, is just a crock of bullshit. So I want to know what you think about people like this. Would you ever get training from a fucking overweight coach? Because I know I wouldn't. In my personal opinion, I think that ideally, for an obese person, they should get coaching from a person who used to be obese and got their weight down to a normal BMI and got in shape and then maintained that for a really long time. I think that a lot of thin fitness influencers or thin trainers, they have good intentions, but they don't fully understand the experience of a person who has been fat because they have never been fat. But I think that trainers' resume at this point is how they look. It's how they look. They have to be able to show that they can do it, they did it, and that they maintained it in order to be able to teach somebody else. Because otherwise, why do we need your fucking help? This has been a Cosmic Nebula video, and I will see you in the next one.